So, what do I have here? A handheld phaser or, oh, a crank flashlight? Oh well. Oh, sorry, wrong franchise. You can go over there. For some reason, I have two of these. I don't know when I bought them. I found them at the bottom of a drawer. This one gets torn apart. So let's see. The whole idea behind these is you crank, 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 crank. Ideally, you keep these charged up by cranking them every month. And then when you need a flashlight, this one's deader than going. There we go. Obviously, I did not follow the maintenance on this. Recharge by winding 1 minute after each use. Recharge every 3 months. I don't even remember when I bought these things. I assume I bought them. Maybe they were given to me. So, let's take it apart. And, oh yes, there's the one screw there hiding. And I'm going to bet there's something behind this one too. Let's go after this big one here. Get underneath it. If I can get underneath it. It definitely feels like it's glued down. Since I don't care about reassembling this, let's go for maximum destruction. And yes, I just checked to make sure that I'm recording. Oh, maybe there isn't any screws underneath this. Oh well, maybe I'll go for the other one then. Get underneath this piece of paper. Oh well. I'm just trying to save it now. There we go. And looking inside here. Oh, way down there. Oh, it actually made it. You know, these are a nice design, but this needs to be a lot longer. Oh, I could have saved myself the effort on the other side. This thing feels like it's about to fall apart. It did. There's one screw. This side, okay. Well, there was nothing hiding underneath there. Let's get it out of the way. Oh, over there. I did reassemble this. There's all the spare parts out of it. Pretty good. When you have spare screws that you start worrying. Okay, there we go. So it has the crank. It has the little insert name of the fancy thing. Dynamo! That's what it is. And it comes across here to, there we go. Okay. Comes across to a bunch of diodes. Hey, I'm going to probably be able to do a circuit diagram on this one. There's the button for on off. As soon as I remove these screws here, everything's going to fall apart. Here, let's just get this out of the way. I think what I'll... Okay. Oh, that comes out. I'm going to undo, or I'm going to desolder this and this, and that way I can get a closer look at the board. Before I desolder this, I've hooked up my alligator clips there to the two lines. This is kind of cute. Hey, you go this way. Not bad, actually putting out roughly 3 volts. Oh, you can get it up to 4 if you really go fast. And that was negative. And if you go the other way, it's positive. So I think what we're going to find out is those diodes are there so that you can crank either which way. Now I'll desolder it. Oops. There's one. There's 2. Get that out of the way. I'm just going to take a close look at the battery. So the battery is a bit filthy. Just going to clean it up. Maybe now I can read it. Okay, there we go. Lithium Ion battery. LIR2032 3.6 volts. I'm just going to look that up for a moment. At this point, oh, and I'll put the specs on that side. Somebody might be going, hey, you're measuring a voltage across that battery and it's close to 0 volts. Isn't that a lithium ion battery? Aren't they supposed to not be near 0 volts? That is correct. So you can pretty well guess that because the instructions there were never followed, and it sat at the bottom of a drawer for so long, they just totally self-discharged. So this battery's pretty well useless. Could try recharging it. Apparently there's ways you can try, but it's not worth it. So what I'll do now is go after the schematic. Oh, and the 2032 as in those things over there. That's 20 millimeters this way, and it is 3.2 millimeters depth-wise. So I'm going to actually cut this out and then do the schematic. So first things first, need to get rid of that battery. Yeah, that was easy. You know, I'm not actually seeing any charge protection chips around here, unless they're underneath this foam. And no, there isn't. So they're not using any charge protection. So now what I'll do is show you what it looks like on this side. Then I'll flip it over. And now I will create a schematic for it. So here's the schematic. First draft. Messy. But when you take that and just look at the switch, the LED part, then it's essentially the battery, capacitor in parallel, diode, the switch. When you push the switch, the juice goes through the LEDs and the resistors. Then what you do is you take a look at the bigger picture and actually make a much nicer diagram. So when the switch is pushed, it's basically from this side is working. These diodes are going to block all current flow. Now, what happens when you crank one way? Say when you're cranking this thing and it's got roughly, say, 4 volts. Good luck, your arms are going to be tired quickly. Well, using electron flow, the electron goes through this, down here, charging up the battery, and then back through that diode. and you slowly charge it. If you're doing a conventional current flow, then the electrons, or the charge, is going this way, over there, charging up this, coming back around like that. So, if you crank the other way, well, guess what? The other diodes get to work. Say you had 4 volts on this side. Then the electrons would go charging this up around over here and back to there. And I see the camera slowly wander down. I'll have to take a look and see if that's actually worth using. Now, obviously I can't stick that battery back in. So I've got this bright idea. I'm not going to waste this 5.5 volt 1 farad super cap on this thing. But if I hook it all up, there's a bit of a charge on this already because I was playing with it. So it's actually taking the space where the battery was. And now I can't see how this thing actually worked. It'd be pretty desperate to use this thing. So right now I'm getting in about 3 volts. The LEDs are not lit because I've got it turned off. That way I can get a bit of a charge on the battery, or on the capacitor. Okay, it's going to slowly discharge. Let's turn on the light now. Obviously I didn't see any, but with a bit of extra power coming in through cranking, it now lights up. Now what I'm going to see though is if I take the super cap out, does it make any difference? No, it didn't. So basically right now, this little capacitor right there, if you pull the battery out, that little capacitor will at least give you some light when you're cranking. The other capacitor basically was drawing it down. I suspect if I had cranked for an hour or two, it would have finally climbed up there. But that wasn't about to happen. That's enough of that. I thought of something else to do. What happened if we just actually remove that capacitor altogether? And now, okay, that's disconnected. It's just going to be straight cranking. So if you have one of these and the battery's no good, open it up, remove the battery, cut out the capacitor, and at least you've got yourself a little light generator if you were that desperate. Now it's the end. December 15th, 2025. It's actually 15 degrees here right now. Sweet.